This is like the first nice day we've had here. It's like 74 here.
Oh, how nice.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
my gosh, so I'm like, oh man, I'm another
Oh,
guy.
you're stuck inside.
It's worth it
Well, it'll
though.
be cooling off soon, I'm sure,
Yes,
in New
it will.
York. So everybody, this is our class 2 of our little 3-part doTERRA launching series. And this part is about teaching a class. So you can teach a class online or offline. But I'm really excited about this and really thankful for Erin teaching it because classes are key in doTERRA. I think because of some fear that comes up around organizing a class, people are going to say no or blah, blah, blah. People don't teach classes. And really, casual sharing won't build your business is the truth of the matter. You've got to get in front of new people. You've got to make offers. And that doesn't have to be scary. It can just be like a fun, girly experience over mimosas or whatever you want. So I'm really thankful for Erin to come in and teach to us today. So Erin, do you want to share a little intro to what we'll be covering?
Yeah, I just basically have an outline of basically what I do, but to kind of piggyback on what you said, I was scared to do my first class, so I understand if you're scared too. And I think like Bridget said, that it's really nice your first time, make it a smaller group if you want. Make it just like your mom and your sister, or your mom and a best friend, or whatever, just to kind of break the ice if you're really nervous. If you're not nervous, go all for it and have like 5 to 10 people. I was scared to have a big group of people, but I honestly think sometimes when it is a bigger group, more people are talking about it and they get excited about the oils. And as you'll see later, we're going to be passing around oils in the class that gets people really excited. So it's normal to be nervous, but again, you don't have to know everything. People might ask you a question, you might not know it. That's okay.
May I make a comment on that? Because I think that what doTERRA teaches is a great idea. They say, your first class, let your upline teach it. Your second class, help with the class. And I didn't listen to that advice, and I should have. So my first class, I was like, Marisa even offered. She came to the class, but I like, oh, no, I don't want to bother you. I can teach it. I was terrified, like petrified. I speak constantly online, but it was an in-person class. I didn't let her teach it. You are learning in the beginning, so let people help you. And I know not all of us are like together in the same town, but a lot of times like cross-line teams will help you. Like Melissa, who's in Idaho, I know Amanda said she would teach a class for her. So if you want help, maybe it won't be someone teaching the class, but maybe you'll invite a friend who's really social. Like just if you need a little help the first couple times, like get the help, whether they teach it for you or whatever. It's just an idea because I definitely when we haven't done something before, we don't know what to expect. And there are certain things I didn't anticipate that just really rattled me the first time. But so it's nice to have like a friendly face around.
What kind of things rattled you?
So I taught a class like at a university and invited a lot of people I didn't know. And like some of them were doTERRA reps, and then they just like left like before when I started pitching, which is super obnoxious. But like I was just, it totally threw me off, because I was like energetically, I'm about to make an offer and y'all just like walked out. Like that's, first of all, bad manners. Let's never do that to each other. Or like some people had to go to class. No, it was like a weird, and like I invited.
You're going to be having it with your friends and family all the time.
No, I did like the opposite. I invited like 25 strangers to a place I'd never been. Like it was so silly. So just do like the opposite of what I did. And Erin had a great, do a practice class on your mom and your sister. Get your nerves out. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, because for most of us, our first customers are our family and friends, right? They're like, just because they already trust you, they already know you, they know you're not going to feed them something that's not going to help them and recommend something that's not going to help them. And then I was still even a little nervous to do it with them too, just because, you want to seem like you know what you're talking about and, all that kind of stuff. But like, they're your friends and family, they love you no matter what. So if you make mistakes or if they ask a question, you're like, oh, that's a good question, I'm not sure. but I think like the biggest key is even once you have that practice thing done, there might always be questions that you don't know that someone might ask, and that's okay. And that's like Dr. Maritza says, sometimes she gets a question she doesn't know right off the cuff. Like it might be something really specific, and she's like, you know what, I'm not sure, but I will look that up for you and get back to you. You know, so there's always ways around it not to seem rattled and not to seem insecure, because what you want to seem is very confident, and that you really believe in these oils, because that is what gets people to buy the oils. Because, and really, we should be confident because we use them every day. So I guess I'll just get into it, because I'm not really sure how long this is going to take or not. But and then if anybody has questions, since it's not a huge group, you could just raise your hand and I can ask or answer, or try my best to answer.
And do you want me to put those links in there now, Erin? Or you could screen share. Actually, it might be easier. Do you know how to do that?
Screen share what?
Oh, I don't know. Did you want to share some of the class handouts?
Put them in the chat, because then when people get the recording, then they'll have them in the chat box too, right? It'll show in the recording. How does that work?
The chat you have to download separately, but I'll make sure I put it with the recording. Like I'll just put it under, in an email.
Yeah, you guys, she had sent those in the email today, because I'm going to reference a few resources for you guys where you can go for class outlines and things that will really help you prepare for your first class. So I just wanted to have those links for you guys. So that's what she's talking about. So first and foremost, basically, like Bridget already said, and I didn't do this, so I try to get my people that come on to do it better than I did. At the get-go of becoming an advocate, I now prescribe or recommend that you try to schedule out your first 3 classes, or at least 10 one-on-ones, just to start getting your feet wet. Because I feel like with the oils, especially if you haven't been using them, having that kind of goal and that class already set gets you using them quickly, or like we're going to be talking about today, starts your momentum, because the quicker you can start the momentum, the more excited you're going to be, and you're going to really see what this business can really be. So that's something I always recommend first. And then the second thing, which I kind of touched on already, is really make sure that you're creating daily habits with your oils. So I was really slow to start with that. I was really only using like 2 or 3 oils when I became on as a wellness advocate. And once I got my big kit, I was like, all right, I'm going to be using these. And I would ask Maritza, what's good for this? What's good for energy in the morning? And I really started incorporating them all the way from in the shower, in my body oil that I put on, to spot treatments to age spots with frankincense, out of the shower. Like I really tried to incorporate them in my daily life, and still do, of course. But definitely ramped it up once I had all my oils. And really, when you do that, it's so much more easy to talk authentically about it at these classes. And people can pick up on that. They pick up on your authenticity and your passion about it, and that gets them really passionate too. So then each class is going to be a little different, of course, based on who you are presenting to, but there are a few things that I try to keep really consistent each class. And so a couple of those things are, again, make sure you're keeping it simple. And what I find works really well for me in all of my business presentations, not just doTERRA, is really making it personal to you and what really works for you, because again, that authenticity shows through. And based on your experience with the oils. And honestly, the most important one to keep consistent from presentation to presentation is letting them experience the oils from the get-go within the class. So if you're doing a live presentation, obviously can't do that with a Facebook Live, but these live presentations are really great for that. So one of the things that I love, and actually very similar to Dr. Maritza, if you guys have talked to her about one of her favorite oils, first favorite oils, one of mine was wild orange. And that's what I pass around right at the get-go. Like I'm barely even presenting yet, and I'm having it pass around and people love it. It smells amazing, and it gives you this big energy boost, and who doesn't love the smell of that citrus oil? And actually Maritza calls it a lot the abundance oil. So it's like really giving that abundance kind of mindset at the beginning of the presentation. So, and again, like I said, really try to have those personal stories. I don't know, I have a good example of this because I just watched Brene Brown's Courage to Lead on Netflix. And her whole presentation, like she has like 5 really personal stories in there that just get you so involved and excited about listening to her. And like by the end, you just want to do anything she says because you're like, you respect her so much because she's just being raw and vulnerable. And that's what you can do with the oils. Tell them how it's affected your life, how they've changed your life, because each one of us has those stories. Let's see. And when you tell those stories, I think what happens is they might not have the exact same story as you, but they might have similarities. So one of my first initial stories was poor sleep. And that's why I finally got to using some of the oils. And who doesn't struggle with poor sleep, at least from time to time? So a lot of times people can see themselves in your stories. Let's see. So another quick note, and I think and I think I did this probably my first time, is not to make the presentation too complicated so that people attending can see that they could do the presentation in the future. Because ultimately, you're going to want these people as either wellness advocates or customers. And so whether they become a customer or not, if they become a customer, maybe they'll have you over to do a little mini presentation together. So giving them that confidence that they can do it with you is really important. And then on the other side, if they end up becoming an advocate, it shows them that they don't have to be this brain scientist to do this. So just keep it simple, keep it about the experience of the oils, and people feel a lot more confident that way. And the other thing, I mean, these are kind of just like silly things that some people don't do this the first time. Like just keep snacks and drinks simple. Like wine helps if it's an evening one because people get even more like excited. And but keep the snacks simple again because you want people that could be potential hosts in the future not to be like, oh my gosh,
that's a good point.
Cost me a lot of money and like what all that kind of thing. And I always try to keep the full presentation under an hour because then you really want to be able to have time, which I'll talk about in a little bit, to have time to talk with the people after. So if you're going on too long with the presentation, you're not going to be able to really connect one-on-one with the attendees that are there, which I feel like that's really where I get the most sales, is because as you'll see, I ask them to write certain things down during the presentation that they're dealing with so that when I can talk to them after, I can go over those with them and be like, oh my gosh, this oil would be amazing for this, and this would be amazing for this. And it's just very personal, and they feel very well taken care of. So keeping that presentation under an hour really helps.
Yeah, I just went to this Diamond's class who is coming through town, and her presentation was like a half an hour. And then she was like, we're going to come around and talk to you. And like, she's very not pushy. She's like, whatever's right for you is right for you. And I thought, I was really watching little things she did because I'm sure she's taught like so many classes. So yeah, I mean, people in the end mostly are concerned about themselves. We all are. So save time for that, because that's really where the money is like making that connection later, getting them to fill out their order form.
Yes, exactly. So let's see. So then there's just some tools that you want, and some of this is in the links that I'm having Bridget give you. So
I'll put them in the chat again.
Forget any of this, they're there. But obviously for your presentation table, you always want a little table that you're standing with, and you've got your oils. And I highly recommend if you can to have, if you can, and I know this thing is a little more expensive, but the Natural Solutions Kit is great to have, because it has a lot of the things that, well, one, we would love someone to buy the Natural Solutions Kit, but two, it just has a lot of the really great oils that we always talk about and that are popular. And then I always try to have the Lifelong Vitality Pack there too, because one, it's just a great supplement for starting out with, and it's great for energy, which most people are struggling with, and it's nice because it's a recurring thing that people need to buy usually each month, because it's a 30-day supply. So, and then I like having a diffuser there, obviously, with oils diffusing. Usually I do wild orange, but you can do whatever you want. And then again, at the links that Bridget is providing, you can get the Natural Solutions handouts. You can either print them, or you can also buy them in your back office. Yeah. And let's see. And then the other things that I highly recommend is having a sign-in sheet at the table, so that if someone doesn't happen to buy during your presentation or after the presentation, that you can follow up with them and see, ask if they have any questions, were there any oils you were interested, do you need any samples, so on. Especially if they haven't bought, they're maybe just still kind of on the fence. So it's just another way to meet them where they are and hopefully help them down the road to buy the oil. The other thing I really like to have is a booking calendar, because if you can, before you leave the presentation and the class, if you can have someone else scheduled, it's going to just make your life so much easier, because you're much more apt to get them scheduled while you're there versus later on. They're excited, they just bought something, or they just experienced the oils, or they want to try to get free oils, or whatever it is. And so it's really great to have that booking calendar of what you have available to talk about someone that might be excited about it. Okay. Oh, and the other thing, and this is definitely optional, and I'll kind of talk about this towards the end, but I usually have some sort of prize, and I do this with a lot of my classes, but so I usually have a prize of, if you buy a thing tonight, you're going to be entered to win this prize. And I usually make it pretty special, like something pampering, because most of the time it's women. So I'll talk about that a little later, but that's another optional thing to kind of have on the table, and you can have like a little frame, like whatever, just explaining what it is. All right, so this is where the links come in, where Bridget's going to give you. So there's a lot of ways you can get class outlines, which is a lot of what I'm talking about tonight. But Maritza does a really great natural solutions class video, and it's on YouTube. So we gave you that link, really great information in there. There's also a natural solutions class outline online at sharesuccess.com/class, but Bridget will give that to you. And then if you want those natural solutions handouts, it's at doTERRA.com empowered success. So you won't have to remember those, we'll give those to you. So those are nice, because you can also buy the handouts, like I said, but if you just want to download them and print them, that's fine too. The other resource, which I did for my first class, and I think it was really great, was I bought the class in a box, and that comes with 10 natural solution handouts. It comes with 10 little 5 milliliter wild oranges. So depending on the class, I might even give that away as a free gift. I just kind of, like a week before the class, I kind of decide what I'm going to do. 1 for maybe a free giveaway for people that buy, and 2 just for attending. So you can kind of decide how to use those, but because they're the 5 mil, they're nice to give away. And then that one also comes with a product guide, a live guide, a share guide, a bill guide, and a welcome doTERRA brochure. And it also comes with these little, because I just was looking at them, where'd they go? If you want little actual invitations, like non-online invitations, these are kind of cute.
They're super cute. And it has does it have the magazine in it too? Like 10 magazines?
Yep, it has
stuff.
It has 10 of them. It has 10 of everything.
Yeah, it's great.
So it's really nice. So people feel like, oh, I'm getting a lot of stuff. This is fun. Because people like to get stuff. Yeah, and it comes with these little, you can tear these off and put them around the wild orange. It basically explains what wild orange is good for. So you would just tear these off and put it on the bottle and give it away. Really cute.
So I think the ideal way, quote unquote, with doTERRA is that you give them that little sample before the class with the invitation, so they're starting to experience the oils. Yeah, you might not be always able to do that,
right?
But if you can, or it could be like a little, what do they call that? Party favor for coming to the class.
Yeah, that's what I did with mine, because I wasn't able to give mine beforehand, so I had all of these like at little stations where people were sitting, and I put a little bow on it too, just because I'm a dork, but you don't have to do that. You have a question?
Yeah. So where are you getting the samples? Are you making those, or are you buying those? Are you part of the kit, or?
The 5 mil? Yeah, if you get the class in a box, it comes with 10 of them right in it.
Okay.
It's really nice. It comes with with 10 of the wild orange, 10 of the natural solution handouts, 10 of the living magazines, a product guide, a live guide, a share guide, and a build guide. So it's got a lot of stuff in there. And yeah, if you just search class in a box at doTERRA.com, it'll come right up. And it's $25, I think. It's not a lot at all.
Wow.
It's definitely worth it. And then let's see. And like I said, if you can, it's nice to have that natural solutions kit with you so you can kind of demonstrate what it actually is. But if you don't have the natural solutions kit, just make sure you have a lot of the oils that are part of it, because during the class, you're talking a lot about the natural solutions kit. That's the whole reason for the class. There are other classes you can do, but I love the natural solutions class just because it covers so much of what everyone loves. And it's a really great kit. There's also, if you want kind of a paper version of the class outline, on page 12 of the launch guide, there's also kind of like a little outline of how to do a class as well. All right. So like I said, the natural solutions class is my favorite, but if you do want to do a class that maybe focuses on one thing, like sleep, energy, beauty, fitness, whatever, there are class kits specific to those things. If you go to doTERRA.com and then you just click on advocate in the top bar and then click class kits. And they actually have them separated out like beauty, fitness, skin. So it's kind of nice. So if you really know your audience and know they're like super pumped about one specific thing, that might be something you want to look into too. Okay. So I kind of keep the same outline for my natural solutions each time. And of course, you're going to change it up a little bit, but you want to try to follow this consistency as much as you can and then change it based on the audience. Let's see. And actually, I structure my webinars this way too. I don't know. Some of you may have seen my webinars and some of you may have not. But really, you're going to have the introduction. And if you're the host and there's no other host, you're just going to introduce yourself and, you know, tell them why you're excited about the oils, why you're excited for them being there. However, if you are hosting with someone else, like someone is actually having you over to their home to present, then you really want to introduce the host first, or the host is actually going to introduce you first, sorry, and then you can take it from there when she introduces you. But if you're both, then you're just going to talk the whole time.
Erin, I had no idea all these class kits were on here.
Yes, aren't they great?
Yeah, it's so much work to develop a custom class. And I'm just like, oh my God. I knew they had the emotional kit, which you guys is like an amazing class. Like the information is so cool. And these all have little ebooks. So I just say, yeah, wow. Just everything that I did, like do the opposite. Don't develop your own class. This is so great.
It's like you were saying, I'm so glad we're doing this for you guys because no one really did this for us. Like I didn't know how, I just kind of, I don't know. I just kind of did it the first time.
Yeah. I mean, if you like, I want to give little different classes all the time. And this is like 8 different class themes with slides. Mm-hmm. Or 10.
Exactly.
And like you don't even have to think about it. You just stick the slide up and you've got the free little handout. So
there for you.
Look at there's so much with doTERRA and sometimes it's just a matter of like finding it. So sometimes that's like Erin like found this that I've never found. So it's fantastic.
Well, that's why I like doing these teacher seminars is because there is so much information out there, and if we can consolidate it for you guys, especially because, you know, some of it we found just out of pure luck because you just kind of happen upon it. We love doing that for you because that's what we want to do, make things easier for you. So so after you do the intro to either the host or just yourself, if you're the host of everything, you thank the host and then you're gonna start to intro the essential oil. So hopefully by this time, the wild orange has been going around and people have been oohing and eyeing and loving it and just feeling really high energy because it smells amazing. And this is where I start to get personal with myself. So I just try to be really authentic about, I'd already told a small story about why I started with oils in the introduction. And then here I just start to get a little bit deeper of, I started with just sleep, but then as I started using the oils more and more, because I had bought the natural solutions kit, which I did, and I started using all the other amazing oils like frankincense for my skin regeneration and age spots, and serenity for anxiety, and on guard for germs, and just all these things. I just really go into how they affect my life every day. And then I start passing around those oils too. So every time I talk about a new oil, which it usually takes 1 to 2 minutes about each oil, I start passing that around so people can smell it. So they're experiencing it as I'm talking about the benefits of them. And then Maritza mentions this too, and I really like this question, is at that point, once they're experiencing the oils more and more, I always ask, so do you guys feel like you need more natural health solutions for your life? And would you prefer to try something natural rather than something synthetic first? And pretty much everyone raises their hand, yes, right? Because who wants to be using unnatural stuff if they don't have to? So again, they're smelling the oils while you're doing this. You're getting them excited because they're like, wow, these can help me with things that maybe I'm struggling with, like sleep. Oh my gosh, I've been having to take the sleep medication, or anxiety, or whatever it might be. So they're starting to get excited, and you've kind of got their attention. So at that point, that's when I go into the benefits of natural versus the synthetic modern approach, which a lot of people are doing at this point, and how having that natural healthcare versus synthetic healthcare can be so beneficial for us. But I also do always say this is just something that I've learned, is, not to just stop your medications, but to be starting with these natural solutions and seeing if these can be a solution for you. So maybe someday, under the supervision of your doctor, you might be able to reduce medications or reduce whatever you might be taking. And then I go into that, which about the certified pure therapeutic grade of essential oils we have, because that's something we have that no one else does. And so again, you're building that trust and that basically trust in our brand, because that's something that we can offer that no one else can. So then I'm like, ooh, these smell good, and ooh, they can help me with this, and oh, you guys are set apart from other oil companies. That's really cool. So then I go into, a lot of people, especially if they're brand new to essential oils, don't know the 3 ways you can use them. So I go into the aromatic way to use them, the topical way to use them, and then the internal way to use them. And most people are very surprised when you start talking about internal use. And sometimes you'll get a lot of questions there because, aromatically, they're like, well, what does that mean? And, so you say, well, you can do it with the diffuser, or if they've got an oil in front of them, which most people will, and you can have them all do the hand cupping with one of the oils. So the key is, again, I've said this a couple of times now, the key is to get them interactive and really start to see how these essential oils can help them in their everyday lives. So then this is a really, I don't think I did this in my first class. This really changed my sales. Is the next thing I do is I say, what are some of your concerns? Write them in your brochure. So the Natural Health Solutions brochure actually has areas where they can write areas of concerns down. Okay, so this is very helpful for later after the presentation to go and talk with them, and you see what they wrote down, and you can talk together and be very personal about it and very intentional about what could help them with their concerns. So once they are writing down their concerns, I go into another personal story here, and go into like maybe like a little bit more of a personal story. Like sometimes it's hard to talk about anxiety or nervousness, or whatever it might be that might be a little more embarrassing to you. It doesn't have to be embarrassing, but it seems to, now that I've kind of got them warmed up in the class and people are feeling good, I just get a little bit more, I guess, authentic. I don't know if authentic's the right word, but just showing them how the oils can even go deeper than some people might think. And then after I do that little spiel, it's a short one usually, I ask another thing because they should hopefully be done with writing their concerns down. And I say, are there things in your life that you want to be prepared for? And a lot of them look at me like, what are you talking about? And I say, so I give an example of, so I travel a lot and I want to be prepared for life's little emergencies when I travel. So the things I worry about when I travel are germs. I worry about not sleeping because I'm in a hotel room. I worry about poor energy and anxiety because usually I might be presenting somewhere or, you know, you're just not at home, so you just don't feel comfortable. So I tell them that for those life's little emergencies, I love having these oils with me. And I talk about On Guard for germs, and I talk about lavender for sleep so I can sleep better. And I talk about having wild orange with me so I can have my energy boost, and taking the vitality pack, and then serenity for my anxious times. So just having those oils with me for those little life's emergencies, and someone else's little life emergencies might be different. So then I say, what are yours? You know, are you traveling soon? Are you starting a new job? Do you have an increase in anxiety? So like whatever it might be, but just try to see how not only the oils can help with one specific thing, but they can actually be there for emergencies that you might not even be expecting.
Yeah, and those kind of emergencies I think are really relatable, Erin. Like I teach mostly locally to some women who are kind of older, and I'm like talking about like bug bites and like family stuff is not their thing. But
Yeah.
like you said, like poor night's sleep, traveling, you know, those are the kind of like real solutions, like little problems that we actually have.
Yeah. And I think that's the key about really knowing the audience you're talking to. I think that the reception will be so much better if you know a little bit ahead of time of what their concerns probably will be. I
Yes.
think that it'll make such a huge difference.
Yeah. I wish doTERRA had like a horn. I mean, we can make our own custom kits, which I think I'm going to do for the next class for these ladies. Cause like, I just don't feel sometimes that the traditional like starter kit is quite as useful. Like, I'm like, yeah, you're really going to use oregano. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really going to use that. I mean, you can. And I think, you know, there's a reason these kits are good starter kits, but also, yeah, things like Serenity are really special and people may want to kind of make it. So, yeah.
Yep, I agree. Well, and that's why I like the Natural Solutions kit, because I feel like it has so many of the best oils.
True, yeah.
Like, it has so many, like, things I use every single day. And that, like the deep blue too, you know. So, because sometimes my audience might be people that, just because of my physical therapy background, they want to know a lot of stuff about pain. And so the Natural Solutions kit has that. So it's just great. And then all the other popular ones.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to pitch that kit, because you can be like, this has all this good stuff you want in it. And if, you know, if they want to tell you later, oh, I can't afford it, you can always customize.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, so then I just kind of go into, and this is going to be different for everyone, but I go into how the youth method, or my community of the youth method, and my belief is 3 pillars to a healthy life, and that being nourishing foods, healing movements, and you know, reducing your toxic load. So however you want to like say that is fine, but that reducing your toxic load, you can be doing everything right in your life with exercise and nutrition, but if you're not reducing your toxic load in your life, it's going to be an uphill battle. And a lot of people don't realize that because they don't think about it and because they don't know. So I basically say, so even if you're doing everything right, these supplements can be such a help to your everyday life and your everyday healthy habits. Let's see. So then I go in with my biggest recommendations, which I've kind of been recommending all the way through by saying what has helped me. But I start off with, you know, most of us struggle with energy because we live in busy lives. And so one of the things that has helped me the most is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. So we go into that a little bit. And then I go into the most popular oils. And I try to go over the oils that are in the Natural Solutions kit, because those are my favorite anyway, but also because it would be great if they would buy the kit. So, you know, there's the lavender and all the ones I use every day: lavender, frankincense, lemon, serenity, lemon, sassy, melaleuca, like all the amazing ones. And a lot of people sometimes what I spend the most time on, because people have questions about it and haven't been aware of it, is the Digest Zen, because people don't realize what that can help with. So that's kind of a fun one to talk about because it's a little different than the others. Sometimes what I'll do is if I feel like the energy is low in the class, instead of going over the oils or just talking about the oils, I'll ask a question instead, like, how many of you are struggling with sleep? How many of you are struggling with cravings? And just relate that to each of the oils too, because then it gets it a little bit more interactive.
Yeah, and I'll ask them in the beginning how, what's your experience with oils? That gives you a great idea of, what level to talk at.
That's a great point. Yeah. Yeah. Before going into all of the explanation, you don't want to be telling them something they already know, right?
Yes. So far, that's rarely happened.
Yeah, that's never happened to me yet, but it could. You never know.
Unless there's some, like doTERRA person there, which is like, you're not there to entertain doTERRA
right.
people.
And even if there is a doTERRA person, there's probably people there that don't know. I think it's going to be very rare when you have the whole class that knows about every oil. I think that would be kind of crazy. So let's see. So then at that point, they're all excited. They've been smelling them. I just asked them these questions, explained the oils, and I just say, you might be wondering at this point, after smelling the oils and experiencing them and hearing all the benefits they can give you in your everyday life and how making them a daily habit can make such a difference, you might be wondering how to get started with these oils. And basically, I just go into the two ways they can buy them. So I say, you can buy them at a wholesale price, a la carte. So you would pay a $35 wholesale fee, and I just go into that whole thing, and then you can choose the oils that you want. Or more popular than that, and actually a much better discount, is by buying the kit. And actually my favorite kit, and if you have the Natural Solutions kit, it's nice to kind of show it, is the Natural Solutions kit. And if you don't have the Natural Solutions kit, just try to have a lot of the oils that are in it. And then I talk about how it comes with a free diffuser, because people love free things, you guys. And it does come with a free diffuser. So, and then I also talk about how that particular kit can get you 100, and a lot of people didn't know that. I didn't know this at first because I wasn't all up to date on the know-how. But you can get 100 free points if you get that kit and then set up an LRP for the next month. So like 100 points, that's a lot. And people are like, ooh, that's a lot of points towards free oils. So that's kind of a nice incentive. But if that kit is too much, because it will be for some people, of course, I talk about the Home Essentials kit next, and then I talk about the Family Essentials kit, because those still have quite a few of the oils from the Natural Solutions kit, but at a lower price point. So people
I like your approach, how you're doing that. You're like setting a high bar and saying all the juicy things. It's their choice if they don't want to get it.
Right.
So it's not, it's like you said, I love you're so good at this, Erin. Like, you want to be confident. You want to be like, oh, I'm afraid to ask for this kit. It's so much money. Like, you just want to be like, well, maybe we could even be, let me start with this kit because that's so much and lets me talk about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But also be, well, if that's not in your price point right now, which actually can be fine with doTERRA, because really we want them to become a customer long-term. So if that's not your price point right now, here's the other kits. They still have these things all the way down to what? No diffuser and a teeny tiny oil. So then it starts to look like a little more attractive to go bigger.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what happens a lot of times. People are like, yeah, but I want the free diffuser, or I want the toothpaste, or I want the deep blue, so like people see that. And to me, being very authentic about it, like I want them to have all that stuff because it's going to be better, but if they can't afford it, of course, not everyone's going to be able to get that. So you have to give them other options. So yeah, so I basically say those are my 3 most favorite kits.
Could you repeat those again, Erin, with the 3? So the top one and the second one?
Yep. So the first one is the Natural Solutions kit.
Okay.
And then the second favorite is the Home Essentials kit. And then the third is the Family Essentials kit.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, and that seems to work really well. That's great, you know. And again, you haven't even talked to them personally yet. So doing that is really neat because they're already thinking about what can I afford? What do I want? Oh, I want this oil. I want that oil. And then, you know, that's kind of how I end my presentation. Oh, no, it's not. Because then I talk about the wholesale account. I just go into any of those kits, get you your wholesale account for free, rather than doing the wholesale with the a la carte. So they always like that word free, which is always a good thing. And then you get 25% off all purchases for a year. And you actually can get rewarded. I got this from Marisa after listening to her YouTube video. You get rewarded for being healthy and ordering an LRP order. Like that LRP order is helping you be healthier. And you're getting rewarded for it by getting points each time you do your LRP. I think that's such a beautiful way to say it because it's true, you know? So, and then I just talk about with that LRP order, you earn up to 10%, up to 30% after a certain time of points. I don't really ever know how to explain that very well. I don't know if you have a way to explain it better, Bridget. Like you start.
I just kind of, I just say, you know, you start it with whatever like kit level you got, but over time, I don't even know all the particulars, as you just like, order regularly.
Yeah.
You know,
you
it
eventually
goes up to 30. I thought it just went to 25.
I think it's 30.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'll look again to be sure, but I'm 99% sure it's 30.
Okay. Yeah, I just tell them it's kind of like from ordering regularly, or it might be at it, you know, you might get more too if you hit like 100 PV versus 50, but people usually, I don't know, they've never really grilled me on the particulars. Yeah. So I just tell them that it's going to go up.
And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes I will kind of skip the LRP part right there because it can get confusing. I kind of just feel the vibe of the group and like.
Yeah, it can be really confusing. And that is something to share for like a private call later, maybe.
Yeah. So it kind of depends. Like if you're just with two people, you could explain it, but sometimes I just totally leave it out because it is a little bit confusing. But if they're getting the Natural Solutions kit, it is kind of beneficial to talk to them one-on-one about it because if they buy the Natural Solutions kit, they get 100 free points that next month if they do an LRP. So it's kind of a cool deal.
So they have to set it up, or they actually have to pay like a $50 LRP.
Right.
I'm sorry. Do they have to, when they set up an LRP, they just set it up, or they have to spend like $50 or anything? See, I don't know.
They just have to set the LRP up.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, I just basically quickly mention the Wellness Advocate opportunity. I like doing that a little bit more one-on-one too, but I'll just quickly mention it like, oh, this is so much fun. If you already have oils and you love sharing oils, this could be something you could do down the road. And then at that point, I always bring a gift for the host if there is a host. So I like to kind of demonstrate that gift to the host because that gets people excited to maybe host a party later. And then I talk about the gift raffle. So I basically say if you buy a wholesale account tonight, I would love to enter you into a drawing for, and I usually make it a pretty special gift like one of our body scrubs or one of the skincare items or whatever audience you're talking to, what you think they would like best. Because most of the time they're ready to buy anyway, and that just kind of puts them over the edge like, oh, I want that, you know.
So they just get entered to win, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you draw it right there?
I've already given them the wild orange usually. So they've already gotten like a gift for being there, and then that's like to buy if they buy. And then at that point, I just make sure that everyone has signed in. I just kind of say it again. If no one signed in, can you please sign in? Because I'd love to just answer any questions if you have any down the road. And then I just end it, and then I say I'm going to come around and just answer any questions you might have. So then I go kind of person to person and look at those concerns that I had them write down. And that's where I feel like the magic really happens. and that's it.
It sounds like a lot of steps, but it's actually like if you look at the brochure, that's kind of sometimes now I just go off the Natural Solutions brochure because
That's
it's,
what I said. It's page 12.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Page 12
like,
on the launch guide or the Natural Solutions handout.
yeah, the Natural Solutions handout. And then I just cue myself right off there. Okay, oil quality, 3 ways to use them. You know, and I do a lot of off the cuff stuff like about different conditions. I pass oils around. I think, Erin, you did a great job of like how to present the kits, which is really key. You know, you don't want to be super great on like chatting them up about oils and then get nervous about the kit thing and just blow it. you want to nail that part. So it's the part you practice, really understand the kits, a little bit of like delicate wording to you know, how to present them. One thing I just saw at this recent class that it really made it value is you talked about this having your schedule, Erin, and they were like, yeah, if you you know, buy a starter kit or whatever, will you'll have this 30 to 45 minute, you know, health consultation privately. And, you know, it just sounded really valuable, you know, and you just basically you go over the live guide and you suggest more things. But it just sounded like, wow, I get like a free coaching session. And frankly, I have not presented it like that. Like I forget to even mention that I'll do that. But you know, all of us have value to give, just our time. And you know, even if we're just starting out, to just sit and talk with someone about their health is really valuable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I should have mentioned that. That's what I usually mention when I go around at the end of class and I'm talking to each person about their concerns and what oils might be good for their concerns. And, you know, I say, just so you know, once you buy these oils and you're experiencing them, you're just not on your own. I love doing wellness consults. I actually call it like an accelerated results consult because it really gets people, I don't know, I just feel like people like that better because they want accelerated results. They want to feel better faster. And so I say, I love doing accelerated results call because it really helps you incorporate these oils into your daily life to give you results faster and in a more convenient way. And people really love that because sometimes people get the oils and they're like, what am I supposed to do with these? You know, so it just really makes them feel secure with that.
Yeah. Realize that they feel kind of overwhelmed, probably.
Yeah.
So just
I did because like when I got the Natural Solutions kit and I was like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff in here. But that's why, like, I think that's why using the oils every single day is why when I present those kits, I don't feel like I'm selling. I feel like, oh my gosh, you need this because I know what a difference in my life it makes every day. So it's not really selling when you're just giving someone a solution to something that is really going to help them. And I think that's the fear we have to get over is that we're not selling, we're providing a service that people need.
Yeah.
And when you can change that mindset, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, make it fun, keep it personal, you know, serve them with their questions and stuff. And if they're not ready to buy, that's their choice, but don't make that choice for them. Let them decide. And you'll be surprised. You know, I haven't done still a ton of classes, but I remember once someone bought like 2 kits in our, like, you know, it was a big purchase. And I was just like, oh, like I didn't even know that was possible. So, you know, you just have to be open to that. And she had just gone through all this like trauma and grief and like, you don't know where people are and they're needing help for all sorts of things. So
it's just our job to present what can help them. And then they have to make the decision,
right,
what they want to do with that. But if we're not presenting what we think can help them best, then we're not serving them best.
Yeah.
So,
any other thought? We covered quite a bit. You know, it might.
Questions, you guys?
I'm just want to say I'm grateful for all that. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to looking at the links and everything. And I think I might need a consult on what to do with all the stuff that's in the kits too, because I know I have my set stuff that I use every day, but I don't think I use all of those. So we can do that. But I do need to go because I have another class at 6. So,
All right.
It's almost 6 my time.
Yes. All right. Good to see you, Lisa.
But it's good to see you guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Lisa. Katrina, any questions that you have or comments? You've done some MLMs before, so.
Not at this time.
Okay.
I'm just going to really have to absorb what was said here and look at the kits that it seems like that I need to purchase so that I can get prepared.
Yeah, you started out with just kind of a little custom hormone kit, right?
That's right.
Okay, so some of the things we mentioned, are available like as a kit without enrolling, but some of them may not be. But you can see within them.
I think the one in a box would help.
The class in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great value. I want to start buying that one again.
I love the little tiny wild orange ones. They're so cute.
I think I was given some of those as gifts.
Yeah, they're so nice. I mean, those because that's easier to carry in your purse or in like a little, key tag thingy.
I have my little lavender that Marisa gave me.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love Erin's idea about just starting out with just a couple of people you trust, Katrina. Maybe just and sincerely say, like, can I just practice this on you? Maybe set that like a month out and make that like a goal that you get familiar and you learn. And it's okay if you have notes.
I always have notes. I should have said that. Don't be embarrassed to have notes. I would forget everything if I didn't have notes. I'd be like, where am I? Didn't you see I have notes tonight?
The class I just went to was really cute. I actually need to find this worksheet. I think it may be from like another company, but it has the top 10 oils and like a little space under all of them. And she would just say little facts about it. Like this one is from, this country. Or I remember the lemon, she gave a little recipe for how she cleans her kitchen with lemon oil and how you can use it. It was just so simple.
Little personal things mean the world.
Yeah. So you don't have to like memorize the encyclopedia of essential oils. Just know like those 10 oils, a few little things about them, a few little uses, and you're gonna, just spark interest.
Yeah. And if you can say how you use them, I always feel so much more when someone is explaining how it changes their life. I'm like sold, rather than just saying you can use lemon oil for cleaning. Okay, yeah, that's totally true. But like, how do you use it for cleaning? That's why I like what you just said, Bridget. She gave them a little recipe to use.
Yeah, she just on the spot gave a recipe, and I was like, oh, I can make that. It's just lemon oil and water.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really good. I think you get better and better. And like I do a class for a team member in town, and now it's pretty, I pack up my bag with all my little things, and it's like just something you get used to. Yeah, you just like riding a bike. So it's just a matter of booking those classes. And I don't know if we talked about inviting people who come to a class can also give a class. So, I have not been doing that. I've been doing a bad job of that because I do it at a clinic. So I don't think to say, but I should be saying, hey, if you want to give a little class and,
I try to always have that done before I leave, like another class set.
Another class set, setting up your wellness consultation or your, what did you call it? Accelerated.
I call it the accelerated results call.
I like it. Set that up right then. See, you taught me something like that's a detail I've been missing. And I should be setting that up right there. So, think about what's coming next, the next class. And you can say, hey, if you'd like to host a class, give you a free one of Marisa's books or whatever you want. Yeah, say free diffuser unless they just bought one. But like, yeah.
Free oil. Like I have so many oils.
Yeah, we all need to buy oils all the time. So you could say, I'll give you my favorite.
Motivate or elevation or whatever.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, you gave me, it's really great that we're talking like this because we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and you just said some things. I was like, oh, I need to be doing that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Katrina, where do you live?
California.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I was gonna say if you live near here, I was like, we should do a class together.
I know. No, I'm up in the North Bay.
Okay, that's not gonna work.
No. Well, Marisa could maybe do a class for you sometime because she does travel through there sometimes, and she knows people too. So that could be a question to ask. You met some people locally, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, yeah, ask them to help teach a class with you. That we should all be helping each other out. So
Absolutely. They're totally open to it as well.
okay,
Oh,
great,
good.
perfect. Okay, well, I'll let you guys get onto your evenings. I'm hungry.
I know, me too. I gotta go eat.
Okay, let's all
I'm
go
having a
eat.
late dinner tonight.
And then I'm going to do a class on the back office, which may sound boring, but actually will save you a lot of stress when you understand your back office and help you get on strategy. So next week will be the last one on how to understand your back office and do strategy. So
Are you going to be on Marisa's call tomorrow?
yes, I will be
I'm going to be on Marisa's, but I can't make yours. The 4 o'clock's getting harder and harder for me to meet, but I should always use
really?
Rachel to meet Dr. Marisa's, which is usually the same, right?
It's similar. Yeah, I think it's okay that we have 2 different times. Yeah. So our next little thing like this training is next Monday at 4 Pacific. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.